And the First Amendment says that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Now, I remember when all of this started, and I was hearing, coming across my Facebook feed, this talk about a redress of grievance that had been ignored. And I remember wondering, what in the world is a redress of grievance? I had never heard of that. And since then, I've learned that the redress of grievance is in the Constitution, and it is protected, and it is the people's right when they're not being heard and they've exhausted all other options to approach their government, their elected officials, with a redress of grievance, laying out what their grievances are, and those grievances are supposed to be acknowledged and at least discussed. Now, we know in Ammon Bundy's situation, the other night I said that in his redress of grievance, he had provided signatures, and I had said I thought it was around 8,000 signatures, and I've since learned that it was over 100,000 signatures that Ammon Bundy collected when he put together the redress of grievance regarding the Hammonds.
Okay, so I realize that I haven't done any videos about the Bundy ranch standoff, even though it's one of the biggest sovereign citizen news stories going on right now. So I thought I'd start with something easy. How the Bundys and Bundy supporters misread the First Amendment. That was Kelli Stewart reading from the First Amendment. Now let's read what the First Amendment actually says. It says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment or religion, or prohibiting free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, and this is the part that we're focusing on, the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Now let's break that down with a very, very common example. Let's say you have a pothole on your local street and you want the government to fix it. What the First Amendment allows you to do is to petition, in other words, to ask the government for a redress, which is a remedy, to a grievance. Your grievance, in this case, would be the pothole. You have the right to ask the government to fix the pothole. That's all the First Amendment says. It does not say that you have a right to have the pothole fixed. Now, in Bundy's case, his grievance was with the BLM and his grazing fees and grazing permits. But again, the only thing that the First Amendment allows Bundy to do is to ask the government for a solution to the problem. It does not mean that the government has to give him a solution or even the solution that he wants. In fact, he went to court several times and unfortunately lost. He was given his due process and lost.
So by reading the First Amendment, I read to you something in the United States Constitution that says we have the right to petition our government for a redress of grievance. Now I'm going to quote the prosecution. Gabriel did the closing arguments today. Gabriel said, quote, yes, Ammon Bundy supplied a redress of grievance. However, a redress of grievance is not even a legal document. A redress of grievance is not even a legal document. That's what the prosecution said at the end of the day today to these jurors.
Now, let's think about this. Is a redress of grievance a legal document? Is it even a document at all? Well, let's go back to the pothole example. Like we established, what you have a right to is to petition, ask for a redress, a remedy of a grievance, the pothole. The redress of the grievance would be the pothole being fixed. A pothole being fixed is not a legal document. What would be a document, first of all, would be the petition to fix the pothole. The redress of the grievance is not the document. So number one, a redress of grievance isn't even a document. They're using the term wrong. But number two, is it a legal document? And the answer to that is also no. A legal document is a document that records and formally expresses a legally enforceable act, process, or contractual duty, obligation, or right, and therefore evidences that act, process, or agreement. You petitioning the government, you writing a petition to the government to fix a pothole is not a legal document. It's merely a petition. So Kelli, out of ignorance, is misinterpreting what the prosecution has said. But more importantly, what the Constitution absolutely does not allow you to do is that if your petition, for example, to get your pothole fixed, is ignored, the Constitution does not allow you to go and get your guns and oust the government and engaged in an armed rebellion against the federal government. The mechanism provided to us by the Constitution in case the government ignores our petitions is to vote in people who will not ignore our petitions.